everyone, welcome to my channel. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was just at the vet with my kitty cat, so I am just getting back home into the swing of things. So thank you for bearing with me. I had to get a few of the things ready for the stream. So let's get started on the stream. If you are brand new, thank you so much for coming here. And if you are already a subscriber, welcome back. And if you are a member, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Okay, so before we go, you guys know that I have like an obsession with fundies. Like they are my favorite thing to cover on this channel. Ever since I was a kid, I was born the same week that Jim Jones handed out Kool-Aid to the people's, what does he call them? The people in Guyana. So it's been in my life for my entire life. Something that has keenly fascinated me is this mentality of why people get into these belief systems that are ultimately so out there and hard to believe, and how do they get into it and why do they stay, and all of this brainwashing that goes along with it. Well, that's good. Lucky for you, there's enough shows on the air that will let us dive into some of the fundy world, and one of those families are the Browns from Sister Wives. And if you watch my channel, you know that we talk a lot about Meri Brown because she's miserable. Yep, that's right. Meri is wife number uno, but currently probably in position number 4 and totally shunned. But that doesn't stop Meri from pretending like she's still married in a happy relationship because her eternity depends on it. Yep, that's right. In her world, she cannot divorce Cody, otherwise she will not only affect her eternity in heaven, but she also will affect his. If she decides to leave Cody, not only will she lose her family, but she'll lose her entire community. And they have made her believe that Cody's eternity depends on her. Like how that works? So despite the fact that he is not interested in her anymore because of the catfishing episode, she remains in this unhappy relationship, and the unhappy relationship is always center stage on Sister Wives. In the past few years, nothing has really changed in their dynamic, but some things are changing, I guess, in her life, where she is really trying to convince everyone that she's totally happy and everything's fine and she's gonna do this for the rest of her life. So on Instagram, someone asked her, "Are you one of the Sister Wives, Meri?" And she said, "Yes, ma'am, Sister Wives for life." That's right, Meri Brown is never leaving, because she will never leave, because they don't leave unless she gets a nudge from someone that encourages her to leave, but it's highly doubtful. She believes her eternity depends on it. Now, even though the family has been less than interested in her, in fact, last week's episode, they didn't even want to help her move. Meri admitted that she spends almost all of her time together, and Cody said they don't live together. Yay, little Sister Wives. Like, this family can't even pretend to get along, and Meri's not going to leave. I can't imagine living in a world like this, but that's just me. Not only did she talk about it, she was sharing stuff on Instagram here. Then Janelle and Christine were pretending like they're best friends. They're proving that they actually went on a walk the day that they said they claimed that they went on a walk in the episode. So yeah, it's photo or it didn't happen, right? And then Cody was talking about how his dream is to have this house, this one big house. And all the Sister Wives are like, "No, we're not going to have that house." And he says, "I do miss Vegas houses and cul-de-sacs. I'm looking forward to building homes and gathering family at Coyote Pass." What's that you say, Cody? Homes? That's right. There is an S on the end of that. It seems as though Cody has this wild hair up his butt that he's going to build one massive house for all of the families, even though they haven't lived in the same house since Robin was added, meaning they've added like a whole new wife, a bunch of kids, and more kids were born, and they haven't lived together in that entire time. And now they're not going to live in one house, because he literally just said homes, not home. So he went on in Instagram or on Twitter to say, he talked about the nasty neighbors. He said, I guess I just struggled to be centered and present when I get home, admitting that he has a hard time moving from one house to another, which had many questioning, well, if you can't get rid of one wife's energy when you're walking from one house to another, how would it work in one big house? He also went on to say that Flagstaff is beautiful and Mary Brown's the winner with the whole nasty neighbors thing. She got great neighbors and a phenomenal house that moves with that way better. Yay, Mary. Yeah, you're totally pretending like you like Mary. He said, if you have a good life in Arizona and are kind to others and serve humanity, when you die, you go to Flagstaff. Interesting. Then he retweeted one of Christine's photos of a beautiful view of Flagstaff on her deck. And then he discussed the dream of having one house, and he said, this is a big dream, mine alone. And I'm so emotionally attached to this idea of a one home idea. It would be wonderful for my children. Now, it's agreed that the children would probably all benefit from being together because they don't spend as much time together with their siblings. But there's 875,000 of them. So I don't even know how you would even have them all in one house. Now, last week's episode, he presented the rendering to his friend and was explaining how it would be amazing to have this giant mammoth house with all the sister wives like sort of sifted off into little chunks of the house, which were essentially their own houses within the house, and then one main part of the house that would be his house where everyone would come. Christine literally is like not wanting to live with anyone because she just doesn't want to, because she doesn't want to deal with other people. She said it didn't work when they were doing it before. Robin will pretty much do anything that Cody wants because Robin is the favorite. It's not even like, you can't even fake that Robin's the favorite. In practice, I truly believe Robin is the only one that Cody actually likes at this point in time. And then you have got Janelle, who doesn't want to do it either, and Mary, who doesn't want to do it. So the only person that wants to do it is Cody and Robin. And I had this feeling that it wouldn't happen. They have not yet built on Coyote Pass. They're still renting. In fact, since they bought that property in Flagstaff and then they hightailed it there and moved, they haven't done anything on that property at all. In fact, since then, they've purchased 2 houses. Purchasing 2 houses does not indicate any sort of like plan to build, because they bought a house for Christine when she moved, and then they upgraded Robin. That's right. Robin and Cody got a nearly $1 million home of their own, a love shack. A love shack. Yes, that's right. It's humongous. Well, it's not actually humongous. It's like 5,000 square feet. Beautiful, nestled in the mountains, I think. It's in Flagstaff, gorgeous area. But if you're about to actually like get ready to build, the last thing you're going to do is plop down $900,000 for a new house. So it looks like the one house idea gets nixed at some point, and it also looks like Mary, despite being completely miserable, is literally never going to leave him. And that makes me really sad. The belief system that you have to stay with someone because their eternity depends on it is so barbaric to me. Like, I don't think that anyone should live in such misery. And maybe she's attached to the children and the family idea, and she has this relationship with Robin, but it's very clear, at least in the communication between Mary and Cody, that there's nothing there anymore. Like, they're basically living separate lives. And Mary admits she's never with him. So if that's the case, I would just be like, Mary, fly, just go, just leave. Because the longer she stays, the less sympathy people are going to have for her, because they're going to be like, Mary, you're choosing to stay in a situation where you are not getting what you need. And no woman should have to stay in any situation like that. And she's like always alone, which makes me sad, because you shouldn't have to be your whole life alone. All right, so this is what I've got on Mary. What are your thoughts about sister wives for life? Do you think it's like okay? Do you think it's not okay? Do you want her to leave? Do you understand why she stays? What are your thoughts? We're going to see a lot more coming up with them in the next few episodes. They're going to go to therapy, and Cody's going to call her a victim. Yay. And we'll see how things progress. But sadly, Mary ain't leaving anytime soon. All right, you guys, I'll be back later with more. Make sure you check out my social media below and subscribe over here. Check out all my socials here. And if you'd like to join and become a member, check that out as well. Bye, guys.